Now, Helen and Hana are very special because they came to us from Japan, and they're actually part of a rehabilitation program where they actually found these animals entangled in offshore fishing nets. And they were kept together, first of all, for companionship, but also so that our veterinarian could run specific tests that we needed to make sure that they were healthy animals before introducing them to our other group of dolphins. And that's so that we could give the dolphins time to adjust too. And that's all pretty much dependent upon the dolphins. We don't rush them through it. We start to work on different behaviors and just building a relationship with those dolphins. Now, if you look at Helen and you look at those little flippers on the side, those are the pectoral flippers. And you'll see that they're much shorter than Hannah's, who are much longer. The reason is that Helen actually suffered injuries when she was caught up in these fishing nets. Hannah also came in when she was emaciated after being caught up in a fishing net. With Helen, you see that she leaps just as high as Hannah. She can do everything just as well as Hannah, and she has her own personality. So she's really adapted to having a lack of that flipper material, more or less, or the partial shape of the flippers. She has a really unique personality in that she's really spunky. If you watch her retrieve some of her toys, which she really loves to do, she just puts all the energy into them and she'll push them all over the place. Now Hannah doesn't quite know that behavior because both the animals are at different levels of their training, where Helen came here with many behaviors that she knew and Hannah has very few. So Hannah's still learning. And the training is important to us as trainers and as caregivers because what it allows us to do is get really close to the animals. And with Helen specifically, we want to be able to look at those little pectoral flippers of hers to make sure that they're not getting any nicks or cuts, they're not getting any abrasions that might kind of prevent her from being the healthy animal that we want her to be. So in order to get close to those flippers, we continue with the training that was started in Japan. And we get even a little bit closer to her. We can actually hold her flippers and really look at the flippers closely. That allows our veterinarians to come down and get right up next to the trainers and check them out too. And even though people may read in books what can happen to a dolphin or see on television, they really get a chance to see it firsthand. And I think they walk away with a different impression than they would if they have just seen it on TV or read it in a book somewhere.